Quickly, I got a couple of announcements. As a courtesy to our student athletes and coach, would you please silence your phone? And when you ask questions, we're going to let Coach make an opening statement, and then we're going to take questions strictly for the student athletes after that so that they can go back to the locker room. And then we'll let Coach stay and take the questions. So without further ado, Coach, your thoughts about the game.
Yeah, I think the first game is always a little bit hard to play, just in a sense that you have to get the nerves out, and you're playing a team that, even though you might think they would have some fatigue, it's a little bit easier, I think, sometimes when they've gotten a game under their belt. And Iowa State's a tough team to play. I mean, I told the group I'm not sure that – I mean, I've been at Texas a while and was an assistant here. I can't remember too many times that we beat Iowa State 3 times in 1 year, if ever. So I have enormous amount of respect for Bill and how competitive his team was. In particular, during Carleton, gosh, they're hard to handle. 2 really, really competitive players that finished their season on great notes. But I thought that Texas was competitive today. I did think that we had a little bit of maybe a letdown after halftime. I thought we played really good the first half, lots of energy, and shot the ball really well. And then the second half got a little somewhat lackadaisical defensively. And obviously as we move along in this tournament, that's not going to work. So, and I think our players know that. But, again, pretty good effort on the first day.
Okay, we'll take questions for our student athletes first. Rick?
Rick Cantu, the Austin American Statesman. Ariel, it looked like Iowa State had some confidence at the end of the third quarter. They cut it to 9, and then you guys go on an 8-0 run. You had a 3. Brooke had a 3 the hard way. Talk about the importance of that 8-0 streak at the time to kind of blow it open a little bit.
I think it was really important for us to get down and play defense. I think that was the staple point. They started hitting 3s. I think Emily Derry went on, I guess, about a 6-0 run by herself. So it was really important for us to just kind of focus on defense, and then once we let that work out, we started flowing better on offense, I think.
Rick, you want to ask another question?
Jatarie, the first season at Texas, do you feel different now than when you started the season? Do you feel more at ease? Because it looked like this might have been your best game maybe of the whole season.
I think I just get a little more comfortable with my teammates as the games go on, kind of getting comfortable and trusting the help and that the guards are going to be there on the skips and all that. So I think I'm just enjoying playing with my team and enjoying the ride and kind of just giving it my all.
Got a question on the other side of the aisle.
Brooke, what are some things you're going to look for tomorrow's game? I know you don't know who your opponent is, but like, what are some things that you would like to see change from the top, working its way down?
I think we just need to trust the coaches, and we need to get in the rebounding game more. I know tonight we didn't do a really good job of rebounding, and then playing defense too. We need to lock down a little bit better, and so just focus on those 2 things, and then trying to keep everything rolling on the other end.
For Brooke and Ariel, being seniors, can you talk about the urgency that you guys feel? You don't want to end even this term. You don't want it to end, and you don't want the next one in. The urgency compared to previous years?
Sorry. You definitely feel kind of a different urgency as a senior. I don't want to say I didn't have urgency my first 3 years here, because I feel like I came here to UT for a purpose. But definitely being a senior, honestly don't want it to end. And I know one day it's going to have to, but giving it everything I have and enjoying the moments that I do have with my team and being able to play with them and smile at them and point at them during the game, just enjoying that and taking it all in and having fun doing what we do.
And just to piggyback off of what Ariel said, I really love this team. And so, like, every time on the court, no matter what's happening, I'm having fun with them. And I really don't want it to end either, but not saying that there hasn't been any urgency all year.
Anything else for our student athletes? Rick, one more? Okay.
Brooke, can you talk about Jatarie's performance and how important? Because a lot of times people have said the guards are the strength of the team, but she kind of carried you at least in the paint tonight.
I think you're just seeing what Jatarie is capable of, and we knew. Everybody on our team knows what Jatarie can do, and when she's on her game, she's really good and really hard to defend. She's a really hard defender, and so no, I think you're just seeing her come into her role and come into being comfortable with herself and being comfortable finally out there on the floor. So it's just when she has her confidence and she's playing with a high level of intensity, she's at her best.
Okay, ladies, we're going to let you all go back to the locker room. Congratulations, and we will see you tomorrow. And please watch the step. I know you think I'm nuts, but... Okay, we'll take questions for Coach. So we got a question. Well, we're going to go to the back eventually.
Coach, the other day you were talking about setting the reset button. Jatarie, did she set the reset button early tonight? Because I think you were talking about the 2-week gap after this, but she looked like a totally different player at times.
Well, I definitely think that it helped to have just played Iowa State very recently because there were some specific matchups that I thought we could take advantage of, and Jatarie was one of those, and we did not do a good job, and she was a part of that. I mean, we watched film together, actually on the plane ride home, and she slowed down, kind of read the defense a little bit better. Obviously, getting off to that good start, hitting those face-up shots helped her confidence, but I definitely think that it may have been an advantage for her to look at what just happened against them and try to make some adjustments. I thought we made some good offensive adjustments as opposed to what we did at Iowa State.
Question on the back.
Scott Wright with the Oklahoman. Coach, your depth, there's really nobody in the conference that can match what you guys are able to do depth-wise. Do you feel like that's going to be valuable when you're playing on back-to-back days here?
I hope so. We just talked about that in the locker room, and it is only valuable if everybody pays attention to detail. And, I will say that I threw that one group in there maybe too early together, and the detail wasn't there, but as opposed to the first half when I subbed a little bit differently, so that I kind of blame myself for that when I sort of threw a whole group in there together that wasn't maybe ready to go together. But again, to answer your question, as long as we continue the buy-in as far as what their jobs are when they go in, because, we're at the point in the season where there's certain people that need to be taking shots and certain people that need to box out, rebound, defend. And as long as they understand what their role is when they go in, I think it could be a huge advantage for us playing, back-to-back as quick as we're going to have to turn around and play tomorrow.
Question on the middle.
Coach, you talked a little bit about how tough it is to play someone 3 times. Mm-hmm. Is there anything specifically that you all changed from game to game against these teams when you play them multiple times a year?
Well, you obviously look back at the way that you defended them, what you didn't do very well. And I thought we were better at some of that tonight. But, again, we went through a span of time there in the second half where I just thought we just were very lackadaisical defensively. You have a 20-point lead, and it's been a bit of I don't want to say a problem. I'm nitpicking as a coach, but there's been times that we've had big leads that we've kind of messed around, I guess so to say, and let a team sort of crawl back in it a little bit. And I don't like that, but it is the personality of this team a little bit that they just don't have a real killer instinct. And I wish we had that, but we haven't really found that all year long. But again, the adjustments I thought were more offensively, really. They play a specific way, and they play Texas a specific way because of our personnel, and we didn't recognize things in Ames very well, and I thought that we did a better job of attacking. When we didn't, we weren't successful. And I think that's what Brooke meant by listen to the coaches, because quick shots that's not good. You don't get a rebound, and you're kind of playing into their hands if you take the first open shot. So I thought that there were times that we were really good with that and times that we got anxious with it.
Question on the aisle.
Pulling from your starters, like you said, they were getting a little bit lackadaisical. But from that, you still have 2 more days in the tournament. How do you plan to change that so quickly with not a lot of time to recover?
Well, first of all, I mean, for example, I started Jordan Hosey, and I have the last 2 games that we've played really for a couple of reasons. She's an energy provider, and it's a little bit of a matchup. I've also played 4 guards a lot in the last 3 games or so. I wouldn't think that would be something we'd probably do against either one of the teams we might see tomorrow. So there could be a change in the lineup. There could be players play tomorrow that, as you know, you alluded to about our depth. I think that's the nice thing about our team at times is that we can go small or we can go a little bit bigger. So there are some players that will be ready to play tomorrow that maybe didn't play as many minutes today.
Rick, got a question? Yep, Rick, got a question.
Ariel had a season high 25.
I wondered if anybody was going to get to Ariel.
Well, she was the
Bud
Light player of the game. No, I'm just, yeah.
Anyway, you say that, Rick.
Other than the urgency factor that she has talked about during the season, is there something more, whether it's a confidence buildup or she's playing with more confidence or something that's added to her game that makes her effective, on both ends of the court?
Well, I think you're seeing, first of all, the Ariel that we all knew she would become and would have become much sooner had she not been set back with that injury. So Ariel's probably performing exactly like we all expected her to perform. I mean, Ariel, to me, always plays with urgency, so I'm not sure it's a senior urgency or just that she is completely healthy, confident, and who she is. And when she's the way she is and the way she's capable of being, I mean, she just is such an impact because of her scoring ability in so many different places and just her leadership, and she's one of those kids that, I mean, she's always had those leadership abilities, but when she was injured and trying to get herself back, she didn't feel like she could say anything, but she can say whatever she wants to say now and everybody's going to listen because she's full strength and she's playing the way I think she's an All-American. I mean, she's had that good of a year and she's playing the way one should play. But I will say that, part of it is we're really finding ways to get her shots differently than I think we have been able to in the past.